Well, first off, thank you for coming to Creighton today. We're so excited to have you in the Harper Center, home of the Heider College business, and we love being partners with ICANN on this particular event and on other events. ICANN is such an amazing, compelling force for leadership growth in this community, and we're so proud to be a part of that in some small way, so thank you and welcome to campus. So, leadership. I get to do this fun little wrap-up every year, and I always look forward to it. And I give my Dixon Ticonderoga number 2, the finest pencil in the world, quite a workout. And this year is no different. Fantastic talks. Thank you so much. So I always think about leadership and how we build organizations in 3 basic parts. That's kind of actually that is the preparation I do. There's 3 parts to this thing every year. Leaders, leadership, and the outcomes we create are always a function of basically 3 things: traits and attitudes of leaders and followers, the behaviors that leaders and followers engage in, and then the outcomes they're pursuing. Okay, so that's kind of the organizational broad model of how I think about these things. And this year's no different. There was an amazing myriad of traits and attitudes laid out here. And the first that was across almost every talk was, in some way, was hope. I don't know how many of you picked up on that. But leaders must be hopeful, and then ultimately they inspire hope in those followers, and that motivates people to drive towards great things. Mindy's really strong focus on determination and what I would say intrinsic motivation is really powerful to me. Leaders don't get great things done unless they're determined, because how many of you have solved something great without busting through an obstacle? We have to be willing to be determined to drive through difficult things, and so many of the stories relayed that. We have to be brave to bust through those obstacles, to give the feedback that's required. And we have to be authentic, positive, reflective people in order to be strong leaders and to learn and grow in the way that we need to for ourselves and others. And part of that learning, as we heard today, is being open to criticism. We as leaders need to allow our followers to criticize us, to be criticized by customers and other stakeholders so that we can learn and grow if we're going to be the best we can be. There was a strong element of curiosity in a lot of what was talked about today. We have to be curious if we're going to grow as leaders, and we have to be passionate about ourselves, our people, and our vision if we're going to drive change. And I think it also takes an independent spirit with an action orientation if we're going to be strong leaders. And if we're going to bring everyone along, truly everyone, we have to be inclusive of all. And then I was really excited today. Patrick made my job a lot easier because he outlined my favorite model of leadership, which I'm sure Nicole was laughing at. And so leadership behaviors really do fall into these categories. Kuznets and Posner had done great research at a different Jesuit university, Santa Clara, to back this up. And so leaders do model the way. And from what we heard today, ways in which we as leaders model the way is by clarifying values and modeling those values, by being promise keepers, by facing issues head on, and by showing great joy. We also do the right thing every day in order to model the way. When we model the way, we earn trust. And the next layer on top of earning that trust is encouraging the heart as leaders. So mentoring kids and employees is a great way to encourage the heart, giving back to those people the things that we've learned. Find what is right in everyone. Focusing on strengths is a great way to encourage the heart. Treating people like people with dignity is encouraging the heart. Celebrating ourselves and others as we have successes is encouraging the heart. And just simply being present for people and hearing them is encouraging the heart. One of the most simple things we can do. Challenging the process gets work done, makes us more efficient, gets great results. Breaking down barriers, by definition, is challenging the process. And having difficult conversations with people is challenging the process. And those were both highlighted today. And then other people will grow when we enable them to grow by enabling others to act. And ways we heard about that today is investing in people's growth, focusing on their strengths, letting others lead, letting other people be the expert. And ultimately, after we've earned the respect, we've invested in people, we've grown our people, it's our job to have, cast, and allow others to invest in an amazing vision for our organization. And one of the best ways to do this well is to be a great storyteller. And I was very excited to see Nate Dodge on the lineup this year because one of the best afternoons of my life was spent with his parents. They are phenomenal storytellers, and you heard a couple of those stories they shared with me today. And they've shaped a culture, and I assume Granddad shaped a culture, and great-granddad shaped a culture, and now Nate is shaping a culture through wonderful storytelling. Because what storytelling does is it reinforces the values we care about. And it tells people, this is what's important around here, and then ultimately it creates my favorite phrase for culture, which is the collective programming of the mind. We all begin to think about the same things the right way so that we engage in the right behaviors that allow us as an organization to act and achieve. And when we've done that as leaders, we get these great outcomes. We get hopeful people. We provide opportunity for others, both in the community and organizations and in our family and for ourselves. We create ethical behaviors in our organization where we can be proud. We get better engagement at school, home, work, community. We break down barriers. One of my favorite stories ever is the story actually about going into the cafes with Mr. Young. That is just a phenomenal story to me. Just inspiring stuff. That's breaking down barriers in a difficult social moment, and that's great leadership. We get better efficiency in our organizations, we get better products, and we build future leaders that ultimately allows us to have great communities and allows us to live our best lives. Amazing, amazing stuff today, and I'm so happy and honored to have been a part of it, and I hope we can thank them again one more time for their amazing job.